Hi, I'm Paul Winn, and welcome to Head On. Today we're going to have a very interesting discussion about dementia, and we're going to also talk about a new, how shall I call it, edifice, building that's being constructed to deal especially with dementia patients. And I learned something the other day that from one of our guests that I didn't realize that dementia was classified as a disease. I've always sort of seen it as an illness, but as a disease, I had a different impression in my head. Anyhow, let me introduce you to our guest today. We have, excuse me, we have Donna Hais and Robert Grose, who are intricately tied with this project, and you're going to learn a whole lot in the next half hour about what's going on in Nanaimo to make dementia a little easier to deal with. Welcome, folks.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah. So, where shall we begin? Maybe, Robert, you could give me some information on this project and why it's important.
Well, this project is a long time in the making. We've been going for Nanaimo Travellers Lodge Society. It's been going for over 37 years, but in the last 10 years, we really got it moving, and a decision was made that the old facility, people know as the Nanaimo Travellers Lodge near the hospital, wasn't going to cut it for the future, and we would have to go with something new. So they made the decision to build something new and to go dementia care. So we purchased almost 5 acres on Northfield, where the new building is, and the new building's 105,000 square feet, and it's going to be state-of-the-art for dementia care, and that's really what we're doing, because the board also adopted the philosophy back in 2008 of the Eden alternative, which is a special way of caring for dementia, which you'll see how it's built into the building, and we'll be talking about a little bit later, the special type of care.
Because as I understand it, there's very few around the world even, and certainly in Canada, you're going to be very unique in that regard.
Yeah, the Eden alternative is very special. We estimated that there's 35,000 retirement homes in North America and 3,000 in Canada, and out of those, the Eden training, alternative training, there's a level 1, a level 2, up to 4 pathway of mastery. Only 4 out of 30, with only 35 homes in all of North America have reached level 2, and we are only 1 of 4 in Canada. So we will be setting the standard for dementia care in Western Canada and in Canada at Eden Gardens.
Well, and one of the things, Donna, is you're the one that has to get this thing constructed, aren't you?
That's right, Paul. We've been with part of the team for 7 years now, so we're very excited to be seeing it come out of the ground, and I'm on site almost every day, working alongside with our team, making it happen, so it's great.
Yeah, I just can't fathom, I mean, you're taking a sort of an emotional thing and then creating a physical structure to help make it happen, you know?
Well, there's been a lot of design and a team approach that goes into putting the facility together, and we've involved our staff, we've involved other experts, so it's been an evolution to get there, and we learn every day the things that we change.
We do, yeah, listening to our families of our residents and what they're looking for in care, and we did quite a bit of traveling before we actually sat down to draw blueprints for our plans. So we've been throughout Western Canada and looked at other facilities and other models of care, and then all of us have done extensive discussions and learning and education component of the Eden philosophy of care, so that we could actually interpret that into a set of blueprints that provides a facility that represents the care we want to provide.
It's amazing. I mean, it's beyond my ken. I think we got a shot up on the screen now of the outside of what it will look like eventually. And then I think that we have a tour that you did with Todd and took some videos. And we're going to run that, and people are going to get an opportunity to see what this thing is going to look like when it's finished.
Great. So this is going to be our front entrance into the facility off of Northfield Road. So if you're coming in to drop someone off for the day or you're coming to visit, you'll come in this way right up to our front entrance canopy. If you're staff, you're going to come in our second entrance over there and you're going to fill up our parking. We've got almost 100 parking spaces here on site now, which is fabulous over what we've had. So you'll be able to park over there. And then as you come up, you'll walk through our entrance canopy and directly into our secured facility. So these doors will all be security controlled, so we don't have any escapement of residents. But this will all be glass actually when we're finished. This is our front reception where everybody will be entering the facility, and we'll have our staff area over here. But a critical component of our entry here is that you can enter into the adult daycare program and the adult bathing program. We have 2 different adult daycare programs, and we have a separate bathing program that allows people to be dropped off that need help bathing, and you'll actually be able to have professional staff here do the bathing and whatnot. So that's what this area is over here. We have our stepping stones. Our stepping stones program is here. And then as we go over here, this is our daybreak program. They have in-house kitchens so that our people coming for the day can bake cookies in their home. They can do art therapy. There'll be music therapy. They have outdoor courtyards so that residents can get involved and do planting outside in the courtyards and basically be part of a comprehensive program when they come here for the day, and then you pick them up at the end of the day and take them home with you again. So, and our bathing program is down here. In this area, we'll have professional tubs set up for bathing with gentry lifts to get people in and out of tubs if they have handicap issues. And our staff will be full-time ready to help with that program. So do I have the opportunity to make this opening bigger? This is Main Street. Main Street connects all of our neighborhoods to each other, and our neighborhoods are all secured. But we've added some common area activities for our residents to be involved in. So if you come and visit a family member here, we're going to have a gift shop here in this location, and directly beyond it we're having a little cafe bistro that also has an outside courtyard as well, so that you can come visit a family member or a friend and you can go out for coffee and do a little shopping at the gift shop and have a little afternoon out, and then take your resident back to their home and drop them back off. So it's an opportunity for the residents to get out of their rooms and a little public activity. Up on the second floor, we also have a multi-purpose room where they can go and participate in activities with our various therapies, or have more family members, maybe 12 people come for Christmas dinner. You could have a little Christmas family dinner upstairs, just to give our residents the ability to get out of their homes and get into the community that is Eden Gardens. Pod B has 2 neighborhoods on the main floor and 2 neighborhoods up above. Each pod is divided into in half, with 11 residents living in one neighborhood. So 22 people live per floor, as well as and the pods are set up uniquely. So each resident has their own bedroom and private bathroom with an in-house shower. Each one has their own private room with their own window so they can see what's going on outside, which is really critical to our residents, that they interact with what's going on outside. This opening in the wall will be filled with a cabinet called a memory box, where each resident can put trinkets and pictures that are memories and things that are special to them that are specific to each resident, so that it's part of a queuing system as well, so they recognize that this is their room. This is a picture of my family, this is my room, so they know where they are. So we have 2 living room spaces. This is the active living room where we're going to have TV and fireplace and all of that, where people can play games, they can watch movies. We also have a quiet living room on the other side of this wall, where if someone who can't really deal with the noise levels of the active living room can actually have a quiet space over on the other side here. All of them have views to our interior courtyard, which is all a secure space, and the residents will have access to the courtyard to do gardening and whatever else they might like to do. So we don't want any dead ends with people that have dementia. That becomes confusing for them. So we're having an infinity walk in this courtyard. So this will all be landscaped with benches and a walkway. So when you come to visit a resident, you might want to go outside and go for a walk. You'll actually be able to come do that in a secure area out here. So this is the second floor, and this is the courtyard down below. But upstairs, because we want residents to be able to have an outdoor experience as well, we're actually going to put glass solariums off the second floor so that residents can go into a glass solarium and actually enjoy the courtyard from above as well. Morning. These are 2 more pods down at this area. Overall, we have 130 beds at Eden Gardens. So you were in pod B originally. These are going to be 2 more pods, C and D on either side, 2 stories high as well for the rest of the residents. We're going down in the basement where all of our infrastructure is. Electrical, mechanical rooms, our commercial kitchen, our commercial laundry are all down here, as well as our maintenance rooms. The other unique thing we have down here is 2 classrooms. So right now this looks like a storage room for my plumbers, which it is, but at the end of the day this will actually be a classroom where we're going to be able to bring people from across the country to come to Nanaimo, to Eden Gardens, where we're going to do ongoing training not only for our people, but people from across Canada who want to learn about the Eden philosophy of care.
No, that was really interesting because it's you know you encapsulated the concept, you know, so as a neighborhood with streets and
Exactly.
and allowing people to keep some of their personal items where, and then that's where their home is, and it's not my room, it's not my cell, it's my home, and
It's
I think
their
that's
home.
great.
That's exactly what the Eden philosophy cares about, is allowing our residents to live in a home and in a home setting.
I think it's also important that neighborhood, you've heard the word neighborhood
Yes.
used
Yes.
several times. That's their world. Is their 11 neighbors, their families who come to visit them, the staff they work with, and then we have all of our programs that from kids coming in from the schools and so on. So their world is there. It's a smaller world, easier to digest as you lose some of your senses and your ability to figure
But
things
it's
out.
going to be a pleasant world. I mean,
Yes.
you know, and you talked about making things visual so that they can look outside, and there's glass there so that, you know, they have an opportunity to at least look outside, where some of the older facilities we have, all you see is walls, basically. You
That's
might have a
correct.
window where you sleep, but it's usually very small and sometimes up high, and all it does is let in light. So I think that's really, really crucial and important, particularly if there's an opportunity for the quality of life the person is going to lead is enhanced, you know, because there's nothing worse than being sick and
true.
and not.
We've paid special attention in the design to that outside space and how a resident inside will interact with that. So for instance, in their rooms, they actually have a window seat in front of that large window, and their window does open a small amount. So you can hear the sounds of the cars going by on the street. You can look out at the, you know, at spring and the blossoming trees. And if you're in the living areas, our windows are exceptionally large, and that's intentional so that the outside becomes part of the inside, and it's very interactive for our residents.
I like sorry, Robert, I like when you mentioned about the ability to have a big family dinner.
Yeah,
you know,
isn't that great?
I think that is cool. That
Yeah.
is just because, you know, lots of times they get separated from their family, and you know, saying, okay, if you got a birthday, we can have a nice 12, 14 person birthday party for you in a nice facility in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, the other nice thing about it is the atrium. Everyone has access to the atrium. And on a beautiful day like today, to be able to go outside and enjoy it, to have your family visit and go outside with them and enjoy it, and they get a little exercise going around in the atrium and just sitting and talking to other people and taking it all in.
Yeah. You know, the other concept too was, you know, you mentioned the classrooms. There were classrooms so that people can be brought from other parts of the country and, you know, get to see a facility and its operation and learn something, and that they could take back to their own communities and sort of get the Eden concept back in their neighborhoods.
Well, Nanaimo, this is state of the art. I mean, we are setting the standard for dementia care, certainly on Vancouver Island, and will be one of the top facilities pioneering dementia care in Canada. So, you know, everyone in Nanaimo can be very proud of this facility.
Well, one thing is that maybe it's just sort of like sort of the disease of the day, because so many articles have been surfacing on dementia, so many situations where you know, there's been elderly people who've gone out for a walk and they die. You know, I mean, just, you know, they don't know where they got to, and then there may be only a block or two from their home, crawled into some space somewhere, and that's the end of their life. You know, this stuff will be this stuff will, having a facility like this,
Yeah.
they can wander if they want and enjoy.
But they're
and
safe.
That's it,
They're
exactly.
safe. And I think we live in a day and age actually when there isn't anyone who can't say, I've been touched by someone in my family or someone I know with dementia. We've all been touched by that. And everybody going forward will be touched by that. So it's important to have facilities like this where you really are giving them the ability to have freedom in their homes while they're dealing with this disease.
Absolutely. I was mentioning to Robert at one of our conversations that in June last year I had to fly to Toronto to assist my nieces and nephews putting my elderly sister into a facility because she just, was not remembering. And all the time I was there helping and facilitating, she thought I was a really nice man. She didn't know who I was, right? And that sort of made me cry, but I thought when I was talking to Robert about this process, and I'm hoping that maybe she might enjoy something like that in Toronto, but I know the facility she's in isn't anything like this facility.
Yeah.
Well, the numbers, you say everyone knows someone who has experienced.
Yeah.
For baby boomers, and there's a lot of us out there, it's 1 out of 5 in their lifetime will be there.
Yeah.
And, by the time you get to be 83, it's 1 out of 3. 85, it's 1 out of 3. And another interesting statistic is women are almost twice as likely to experience dementia and Alzheimer's as men. We don't know why, but that's just a fact.
It's the burden they carry all their life. It's the burden they have to carry. Raising a family, the kids. Anyhow, that's my theory, and I'll have to
That
get it.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Well, see, I have somebody agreeing with me. But you to get something like this happening, you got to have money, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to be able to acquire the funds. How are you guys doing with that?
Well, there's 2 ways of looking at money. One is to operate it, and we're very fortunate that we partner with Island Health, and we have with our facility now. And going forward, the basic operating costs from staffing to food to the facilities is paid for by Island Health on a per diem basis. Okay. Now, we call our patients elders. Right. If you're an elder, you pay a portion of that monthly expense based on your income level. Okay. So the operating is paid, but Island Health only funds to an institutional level. An institutional level is primarily a hallway with rooms off the side. Yes. Well, as you know, we're creating the Eden Gardens and the neighborhoods and the communities. The cost of going that extra and setting the standard for the future is about $1.5 million of hard costs for us to open the door. And then we want to raise about another $500,000 to keep our special Eden Garden programs going in the future, having a bit of an endowment fund. So we're looking to raise about $2 million before we open in April of 2017.
That's not that far off.
No.
It's just a year from tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, or Friday. Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
A year from Friday, you get your doors open. But the concept really excited me. Maybe because I was touched by it through my sister, but at a timely fashion. But I had other people in my life who had to experience that, and one was even young, in his 40s, and wow. It was an early onset, and it was just bang, he was dead before we knew it, sort of thing. But I was just thinking that the Nanaimo community has an opportunity to be the leaders and create some interesting opportunities for other centers in Canada and in British Columbia to come by and take a look and say, hey, we did it, you could do it, follow our model, and you'll have a really great community of people to to work with. Yeah.
Well, it certainly will be the standard in what Donna and all the trades, and most of the trades are all local. Yep. It's created a lot of employment. We've put a lot of local cement and local lumber.
Well, we have. It comes every day by the truckload.
Yeah. And we're not even running for office here.
No.
It's just doing a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I think that, that's an opportunity to, we've got to blow your horns to get some people to get behind and to be able to donate and feel that they can donate.
One of the other new things about the facility is it's 130 beds, but of those 130 beds, 40 will be what they call licensed dementia care, or a little bit lighter dementia, so that people who can no longer stay in their homes are having trouble staying in their homes, but they can still do a number of things. So licensed dementia will be like entry-level dementia, and we'll have special areas where they will stay, and eventually, as the disease progresses, they may move to the regular neighborhoods. But I'm sure if Donna, if you want to talk at all about the license and how that might work in the facility, or.
Well, we are set up to have the 40 licensed dementia, and then dementia is actually rated from 1 to 8, and most of the people that are at Travellers Lodge now are in the 5 to 8 category in their journey with dementia. But we're looking to hopefully allow spaces for people who would be in the 1 to 4, and that's what the licensed dementia would be. The other really unique thing that Travellers offers is our adult daycare programs, which is really amazing because a lot of people want to keep their family member at home with them, especially in the beginning stages of their journey with dementia. But quite often both parents are working, both people are working, and they still might have children at home, right? So we're getting these families that have multi-generations living in one home, but the adult daycare program allows someone to drop their family member off for the day, and then for the family member with dementia to be completely engaged all day long in programs and activities, and then be picked up at the end of the day and taken back to live with their family. And it's a huge opportunity to allow those elders to stay longer with their families before as they move along in their journey in dementia and have to move into a facility where more care is needed. And my personal feeling is that's a huge benefit to our community.
Yeah, 'cause this is always a problem, with people like you say, like daycare.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not thinking of young children, because you want your loved ones in your home with you, and as long as you possibly can. But as you say, you've got to go out to go to work, and you got to come home. So, but knowing that they're in a safe, secure place where they will be having an opportunity to experience life, not just be plunked in a room, in a chair somewhere, and a TV put on, and they're sitting there. I mean, I've seen that kind of situation.
Well, it's absolutely huge for the caregiver as well. It's respite for them.
Yes.
Because if you're doing 24/7 with someone with dementia and you get no break, this is a huge opportunity for them to get their life back to normal a little bit and do some daily things, knowing that their loved ones are going to have a good time and be taken care of, and they get them back at the end of the day.
I know it's just the whole concept and the way you described it and talk about it, and I think about implementing it, designing a facility so that that quality of life can actually happen for people, because it's as you point out, the older the population, the more chances dementia is going to creep in, and we're going to need facilities and opportunities for people to live a quality of life. Even the language you've been using, is important, and I think that's should send a message to people. That.
Well, we're sitting in Nanaimo here at almost the epicenter of Alzheimer's. We've got an older population. We're in the top 10 communities in Canada with an average age over 65. We've got retirees all want to come to the island. And the number one reason for dementia growth is aging. So we're sitting here on the perfect storm, and we'll never catch up in rooms. So this is a great start, and hopefully this will serve as the master for maybe for us to expand in the future, and other facilities being designed to go a similar way. But we will never catch up to the numbers, but we're increasing by 44% right now, the number of rooms. So that's more rooms for Nanaimo. The other thing is there are very few facilities in Mid-Island that look after dementia. We are the only dedicated dementia facility. The other facilities may have 10 or 20% of rooms. Right. But we are the only one that's dedicated with our staff, with our programs for it.
Well, maybe some of the existing facilities might think about reconstructing a bit, you know, remodeling and redesigning, you know, to take some of this flood that seems to be going to come down the road. You know, when I think about, you know, like I'm in this group you're talking about here. Say, you know, say, wait a minute. You know, like.
So far, you've been battling the statistics.
No, I know. You know, it's funny, but it's something that, as long as my life can be sort of a quality level, I might not mind going down that path. But it's important. It's important for us to. Support these kind of activities as a community, and I'm all for making Nanaimo, you know, international headquarters, and you know, or even if not the national headquarters from Canada's point of view, where people can come, learn, and copy. You know, I think it'll be great.
Well, we have lots of things to be proud of in Nanaimo, and this is another one that we hope that will sit there.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you know, like how. There's a couple of things that, you know, I've been a newcomer, relative newcomer to Nanaimo. I've been here just under 4 years, and I've been seeing things that, you know, are really progressive and futuristic, as opposed to, you know, thinking, well, I came from the mainland, you know, that's got to be the A all be all, and of course it's not. It's
no, this is a fabulous place to be.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here now, and I'm beginning to enjoy myself a lot, you know, and I get to meet interesting people, and I see this. I'm going to keep an eye on your project. So I'm going to, when you get maybe further along, if you have an opportunity to do a tour or some kind of thing, that'll be kind of great. I'd like to do that.
That'd be fabulous.
You know. Anyhow, folks, you out there in TV world, we're wrapping up for the day, but you know, you're going to have an opportunity to see us again, and we're going to invite you to watch Head On often, but I'd also like you to get in touch with us if you have any suggestions or ideas for shows, ideas to keep us in the know. Anyhow, enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll see you again.